President Zelenskyy is urging world leaders to step up the pressure on Russia. The Ukrainian president is calling for more military aid, saying Russian forces have 20 times more firepower than Ukraine. Foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge joins me live now from outside Kyiv with more on that. Tom, Zelenskyy said over the weekend that 50 to 100 Ukrainian soldiers are being killed every day. How dire is the situation in the Donbas region right now?
Diane, the Ukrainians are in a tough fight out in the eastern region in the Donbas. We're getting reports now that they are losing territory, not significant amounts of territory. We're talking about villages. We're talking about small slices of land along that contact line with the Russians. As you say, the Russians have the manpower. They have the heavy equipment. The Ukrainians are getting more heavy equipment from the West. Zelenskyy saying, though, and I think it's important, that the language, the tone is changing from Ukrainian officials, that they're really losing big in terms of troop numbers. 100 a day isn't sustainable. And Zelenskyy also saying that whole area out there is being flattened. Let me just show you this behind me. We're north of Kyiv, the capital. This was a tennis court, or series of tennis courts, the clubhouse or sort of area there. And look down here, you can actually see when Russia moved into this area about a month ago, you can see the impact crater there. This whole area is sprayed with what presumably was shrapnel. Down on the road here, you can see it's pockmarked, the asphalt, with presumably sort of bimetal effectively from whatever flew in here. And this is kind of typical of this whole region in Ukraine. And that sign there is consistent with munitions like cluster bombs, which, remember, are banned under international law in civilian areas. We're in a civilian area, house there, house over there, house over there. Russia is targeting civilian areas throughout this war. There's plenty of evidence of that.
Now, Starbucks announced that it would completely pull its business from Russia. So what is life like for Russians now after months of sanctions on their economy and several companies doing the same?
Yeah, so about 130 coffee shops, Starbucks coffee shops, are now closed in Russia. Starbucks is probably one of the latecomers to this. A lot of American names, a lot of international names already moving out of Russia. I think symbolically it's important. I think it does affect a proportion of the population. Probably most Russians, I don't think, are seeing dramatic changes in their daily lives because of sanctions, because of the financial business crackdown. It's definitely affecting the elite. And speaking to a senior Ukrainian official this morning, that's their hope, that the elite's lives are changing. They can't travel abroad to much of the world. They can't get hold of many of their assets, now frozen abroad. And the hope for the Ukrainians is they put pressure on the Putin regime and we see some kind of change. But we're not seeing evidence that that's coming anytime soon.
Now, in a rare break from the Kremlin, a top Russian diplomat to the United Nations resigned in protest of the invasion, saying, and I quote here, "Never have I been so ashamed of my country." How significant is that, and why do you think he made the decision to do this now?
I think it's an important sign. It's a crack, if you like. This official was senior, so this isn't just a sort of low-ranking official sounding off. It tells you that there are people within the Putin regime, within the broader state apparatus of Russia, that are not happy about the invasion. You know, the Russian propaganda machine is brutal. It is relentless in terms of pushing false narratives, and it does well in terms of convincing the broader Russian population that Putin's so-called military operation here is legit. But I think there are signs that within the state apparatus, people are not happy, and that's one of them.
All right, Tom Soufi Burridge for us outside Kyiv. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.